These are my father's Tefillin. My father actually passed away when I was 2.5. He was from Israel, so it's a very deeply personal thing to me. I've actually never had these checked. I've never put them on. I'm going to go on a little mission to see what it's like doing Tefillin for the next 30 days and see if the mitzvah of doing Tefillin, if it affects my life, and if it affects God, if it affects anything.
How often do you put on Tefillin?
Right now, only if a Chabadnik gets me on the street.
What do you think is going to happen if you put them on for 30 days? Do you have any?
I don't know. I have no expectations. Hopefully I understand, I get closer with God, or I don't know.
And just for the audience, your background, your religious background growing up?
I grew up in Long Island and went to a conservative temple from 4th to 7th grade to my bar mitzvah, and then really I might have went to temple for the high holidays for a year or two after that, and then really no Shabbat, no nothing for all of high school, and then I got to college and connected with my Chabad rabbi there, and ever since then I've been in tune more with my connection to Judaism. Pretty connected to Chabad and been interested in learning more, baby steps at a time. And yeah, that's that. And then recently, I guess how this stemmed, we were talking, and I was interested in trying to learn once a week, and I asked Yoni, and he said he would kind of begin to teach me or go through some learning together. And then I've actually recently done this thing called Whole30. It's like a diet program, kind of a self-discipline, challenge yourself thing, and we were talking and we came up with I guess the question we were talking about was, is God, who needs mitzvahs more? Like, does God need us to do the mitzvahs for him? Does he not need us to do them for more? And then through that discussion, actually yesterday or 2 days ago, we came up with, well, maybe I'll do Tefillin for the next 30 days to see if that mitzvah, how that affects doing that mitzvah every day affects me. So I'm going to start after Shabbos this week. See what happens.
We're talking about understanding the commandments, the mitzvahs, as God's need, rather than just good advice that will benefit us. On the other hand, you're going to make an experiment, and try to put on Tefillin and see what happens. Yeah? Mm-hmm. So there are two things here. Number one, if it's really God's need, there's no way you're going to feel it. On the contrary, the whole point is, this is not about you. Mm-hmm. It's his need, and he's divine, and you're human. Mm-hmm. So if you do what he needs, of course it's not going to help you.
I disagree with that, though.
Because?
If I perform a commandment that God wants, in theory, right, it should be helping him, correct? Do you agree with?
Yeah,
does that make sense? That's what you just said.
Yeah.
So it's a mutual relationship.
The question is, how does it become mutual?
Well,
if you're human and he's divine.
Well, no. So something I learned from Sadia, God is. I mean, I'm actually an engineer too, so I have a science background. It's actually a good thing. So if God is this infinite source of energy, that was the original source of energy, and he created the earth, like law of physics, you can't create or destroy energy. That's like the law of conservation of energy. So all God did was transfer his energy into the world and create the world out from his energy, right? So we, you, me, him, everything, the table, the phone, the camera, is all a piece of him. It's a divine source of light, energy, whatever you want to call it, which is energy has the ability to transfer and change states. Any physicist would probably, I hopefully would agree with what I'm saying. But back to that question you just said, if I have a spark of God in me and you have a spark of God in me, and we're all a piece of him. What I see in front of me and what I touch is just whatever state of matter, reality, you know. But by me, it's a mutual relationship. So I'm actually reconnecting with the source of energy when I do these commandments. I'm becoming closer to him, right? So it's, you know, I'm transferring back toward him, so to speak. That's the way I think of it.
There are two very distinct things.
Mm-hmm.
If it's about him,
Mm-hmm.
then we shouldn't understand it. It shouldn't make sense to us, and it shouldn't feel relevant to us. It's about him. On the other hand, I mean, that's the human part of us.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, the Jewish part of us should be able to share whatever works for him, should work for our soul as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because the soul is a little part of God.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So the human part of us is at odds.
Mm-hmm.
The Jewish part of us is
It's like the animal soul or something like that.
the human soul, actually.
So the Hebrew, what's the Hebrew for that part?
The animal soul. The animating soul.
What's the Hebrew?
The hamim.
Okay.
So if putting on tefillin for 30 days is going to do something for you, that won't prove that God needs it. It'll prove that there's something godly about you.
Okay.
Which is fine. Not a bad discovery. But the fact that God needs it, that we can only appreciate by putting ourselves aside,
Mm-hmm.
not by trying to find how it works for me.
Yeah, you can't be doing it for you. You have to be doing it for God.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And if you're really doing it for him, it's way beyond anything we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the two beautiful sides of it. It's the ability to really serve him,
Mm-hmm.
which means leave me out.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not about me. And then on the other hand, the Jewish part of me shares whatever appetite God has. The soul has the same appetite.
Mm-hmm.
So it should do something for your Jewish soul that is knowable,
Mm-hmm.
tangible. So maybe in a sense, if it works for your soul, that proves that it works for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because your soul is a piece of him.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a fascinating journey.